It was so many years ago, but those things have an impact on you. One day before church, one morning, we were getting ready for church, and my mom just screamed down the hallway and just yelled down the hallway, "Kids, we are not going to church today." Well, we found out later that our stepdad was having an affair with our babysitter. And it had been happening for 5 years, and it just really crushed our family. As he was having an affair with our babysitter, he actually got her pregnant twice, and we knew she was pregnant, but we didn't know that it was with our stepdad's baby. And so she told us that she was going to have an abortion with her baby. She went ahead and went through with both of them. So my mom and my stepdad sought Christian counseling because my mom, she forgave him, and because my mom's such a loving person, and so he decided to accept Jesus as a Savior through this all, which is really cool. And he went to church and he stood up, and the whole sermon was him sharing all and confessing all the sins he'd ever committed. And then he asked Jesus in his heart shortly after that. He was so guilt-ridden, and so I think felt so bad for what he did. I found a little note in my CDs one day as I was looking through my CDs to listen to some music, and I read it, and it told me how much that my stepdad loved my brother and me, and that he thought of us as his own kids. It just kind of struck me as funny that I found that in there. He was planning something, but he'd been acting strange. He had told my mom that he was hearing voices. We were watching a movie. We didn't hear a gunshot because there were gunshots on the movie that was being played, but we heard a thud, and then the door, we couldn't get it open. His brother just starts banging into the door to break the door. And there my stepdad was, just laying on the ground. And my mom was like, "You just took CPR. You're the only one that knows how. I'm going to call 911 and you need to start administering CPR." And I'm like, okay. And I just thought, okay, I got to be calm. And so I gave him CPR and just, was giving him chest compressions. And the next thing I knew, the EMTs were there. They took my stepdad's shirts and they pulled him up, and there was a bullet hole. And there wasn't a lot of blood, but it hit me right then that every time I gave him a chest compression, I was pushing the bullet further toward the heart. My stepdad died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. I think I was in this, I don't even know, almost like shock, and I didn't want to deal with the pain. I turned to alcohol a lot. I thought that would be, it was just like an escape, and I was running from God. And so one night there in my apartment complex, it was just like I'd had enough of myself. I was sick of myself. And I just cried out to Jesus, and all I could say was, "Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus." And I said it over and over for hours. Well, I was teaching half-time, and I was a waitress at night, and I was so broke. He blessed me with a teaching job for Western Boone schools. So I had a phone call with the principal and started teaching, moved and everything, all in 5 days. I just remember thinking, just what is God going to bring my way? Leisa Holliker, she asked me if I had a boyfriend. I said no, and she said she had this, perfect guy for me to go out with, and I thought, yeah, right, whatever. And she set me up on a blind date with Craig Bergen, who's now my husband. People are hurting out there, just like I was hurting, and I was filling my life with things that weren't of God, and other people do that too, and I know that because I did it. With God, all things are possible, and that when you're hurting and you've had pain and you've had awful things, trials, great tribulations that have that you've gone through in your life, that you don't have to turn to anything other than Christ. I mean, I'm so far from perfect. I am a sinner saved by grace, and I just want to thank God for His grace and mercy on me, because I don't deserve it.
My name is Leisa Bergen, and Jesus is my Lord.